What's going on, everybody? Nelson's Crypto here. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. I know I am. The market's a little dull and flat this weekend. There's not much to talk about. But I do want to talk about Kaspa, and I do want to talk about some fractional charts that I've been seeing on Twitter, which are pretty amazing. If if these charts stay true, Kaspa could potentially see $3 to $4 within the year. And I do think it could easily see $4 to $10 in the top of the bull run. We're going to compare it a little bit to Cardano as well, and it's going to be on the fractional chart. It's following Cardano and Ethereum in the early days. First, we'll just talk a little bit about trending, see where it's trending today. Kaspa is number 10. It always seems to be trending pretty well on CoinMarketCap. So a lot of people, I think, are paying attention to Kaspa. It's picking up a lot of traction as well on Twitter, in my opinion. I see more and more people posting about it. So the more and more community, more and more it can grow, the better for Kaspa. One of the coolest things I've seen posted recently was a post from Nicholas Sismil, and he wrote an article about Kaspa solving the trilemma. Pretty interesting read. I would encourage everyone to go read it if you don't know a whole lot about Kaspa. But if you look at his job, he's a listing research lead at Binance USA. So that just kind of tells me right there that the biggest exchanges are paying attention to Kaspa. There's been some clues that maybe even Gemini might be listing Kaspa soon. I personally would like Binance or Coinbase to wait to list it until the next bull run, so people can just FOMO in and pump my bags you know, instead of it getting listed too early and people not being as excited for it to when it gets listed to buy it, because I believe that causes a lot of FOMO when there's new projects listed on big exchanges and they've been going up a lot. It's just best, I think, that they get listed in the height of the market typically. So one guy you need to follow on Twitter is Jimmy. Okay, this guy posted a great fractional. Now, if you pay attention here, he's comparing Kaspa, ETH, and 88. Cardano's market supply, circulating supply, is really similar to that of Kaspa, I believe, in when this fractional was created. Cardano now has even quite a bit higher supply than Kaspa will ever have, their max supply. So that's quite interesting. So if you look here, you can see we're right about here. And this almost looks like a cup, potentially a handle and go up. We're definitely consolidating since we hit that high last week. But you see that Kaspa is just straight following the Ethereum and the ADA fractional on this chart. It is straight amazing, guys. I was shocked when I seen this. And if you see if it continues to follow, we could see upwards of, $3 to $4. And that's only in the upcoming February to April area, which is right around the time of the Bitcoin halving. If Kaspa can easily hit 2 to 3, potentially $4 before the halving, I don't see why Kaspa can't do $5 to $10 in the next bull run. Of course, that's all speculation, but I'm definitely buying Kaspa. I'm holding Kaspa, and I don't plan on selling until the fall of 2025. Potentially take some profits before then. Can't always time the market perfectly, but that's definitely when I'm looking to sell my Kaspa, and I'm definitely not going to sell before then. Another thing I want to look at is transactions. So Kaspa has been running in between 120 and right around 110,000 transactions a day, pretty consistently, even over the last 90 days. I know this is only the last 7. If you look at Cardano over the last 15 days, and honestly over the last year, if you look at their statistics, you'll see that they're running anywhere from about 90,000 at a high to 70,000. So that right there is pretty amazing to me. If you look at the active addresses as well, you'll see that Cardano has at least double the active addresses as Kaspa. And for them to be doing, I don't know, 20 to 30% more transactions a day with half the amount of active addresses. I think that's extremely bullish. People are using Kaspa, right? So, and that's what you want. And Kaspa doesn't even have smart contracts yet. And a lot of people say that's not going to happen, but it is in the development. Smart contracts are going to happen. It's just not going to be easy. Cardano took quite some time to implement their smart contracts. It's, I don't think, going to be any different with Kaspa. It's a first of its kind. People don't, there's some people out there that will speculate that because the block speeds are too high that it can't be done on Kaspa, which is kind of a valid concern, I will say. But there's always a time for new technology, and whenever people seem to say, "Oh, you can't do this," eventually it gets proven wrong. And if you look at the roadmap here for Cardano, you'll see, or I'm sorry, Kaspa, you'll see they're planning smart contract implementation. So it is in their roadmap. They are definitely going to have smart contracts one way or another. There is two different options. One would be integrating it into the existing Rust code once that comes into mainnet. So their first thing they're working on is the Rust language coding, which is 10 blocks per second. They have already had it on testnet. It was pretty successful. And it looks like they have some things to work out. Hopefully they can get on that on mainnet sometime soon. And once that is put on the mainnet and working efficiently, we will see them start to work on smart contract implementation. And I think that's huge because Kaspa already has the speed and the cheapness, and it already solves the trilemma. The only thing they're really missing, in my opinion, would be smart contracts. There's a couple ways that they might go about doing that. One would be roll-ups, integration on the Kaspa network itself, which I really, really hope they do. There is one other way where the settlement would be done on Ethereum, which I think is unacceptable. I don't even think they should consider that. But I do believe that's kind of option two, at least from what I've seen from Jonathan, because he's made posts about it. You can go search it up and find posts where he's talking about the options. I do believe they want option one, where they implement it on the mainnet itself, Rust, and settlement. Everything is done on Kaspa. But I do think that if they run into troubles, that maybe they're just kind of setting the table for the potential of having to use Ethereum as a settlement layer. But we'll just see. We'll have to see what happens with that. So here I just kind of want to look at Kaspa. If it went to Kaspa's 88 high, Cardano would be around $5. And this is pretty much this is where I see Kaspa in the next bull market at a minimum, pretty much, especially after looking at the fractional. And I think by the end of the year, we'll see 55 cents to $1 with Kaspa. As long as we see new price discovery, as long as we break out of new highs, but as long as it follows that fractional, guys, I don't see why. I mean, this fractional here is just amazing. And if it keeps following this, you guys need to follow Jimmy on Twitter and keep up to date. He posts all the time. He's got good information. Guys, yeah, follow Jimmy on Twitter and pay attention to the fractional and dollar cost average and get into it before it gets on those major exchanges, because they are paying attention, and I'm pretty sure they're buying. Almost guaranteed they're buying. And you guys should be buying as well before they go ahead and list it. So that's about all I got for today. I will get you guys another video soon. I hope everyone has a great, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time.